Good evening all, this is Indra from Pantech e-learning. Am I audible everyone? Good evening all, am I audible? Aisha Banu, good evening. Kanimoli, good evening. Jayalakshmi, good evening. Ilamati, good evening. Am I audible everyone? Yeah, thank you for your response. Balu, Irfana, good evening. Shyam, good evening. Yeah, good evening all. Thank you all for your response. Okay. So first, let me start with an introduction about Pantech. So we have started since 2004 and we share our experience for 20 years of expertise via EduTech platforms, and we help 10 million students to learn the technology in easy way, and these are the programs which are available to us like Python programming, advanced Python programming, Python full stack, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, Java programming, Java full stack, React JS, web development full stack and much more, which are embedded systems, IoT using Raspberry Pi, computer vision which is OpenCV, and image processing MATLAB, artificial intelligence MATLAB, MATLAB Simulink, EV design using MATLAB, renewable energy design, Amazon Web Services. Okay. So these are the agenda for this entire masterclass. For this 30 days, we are going to learn all these topics from day 1 to day 30. I have given all the title name here. So you can see here, like for first 2 days, we are only go for introduction part. Today we are going to see IoT introduction, and second day we are going to learn about ESP8266 introduction and IDE installation and everything. And on third day we are going to directly jump into the hardware sections like ADC, pulse width modulation, deep sleep. We are going to see scratch from advanced level. So these are the topics which we are going to cover in this entire masterclass. Yeah, thank you Vishnu for noticing that mistake. I too also noticed that. I will change in next class. Sorry for that. Okay. So these are the topic which we are going to cover in this entire 30 days masterclass. Okay. So this masterclass is about Internet of Things. So before getting into the topic, I just want to start with a question. Like, do you guys have any idea about what is IoT and how it actually works? Do you have any idea about it? You can give a simple answer in the chat box. You can drop the answers in the chat box, please. What is IoT and how it actually works? Or just give me an example of IoT. Any one example. Drop your answers in the chat box, please. If you don't have any idea about it, it's okay. We will learn in this class. For those who have any basic knowledge about this, you can drop the answers in the chat box. Physical devices such as appliances and vehicles that are embedded with software. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, network of device to provide combined service. Okay. Both hardware and software. Okay. Any example of IoT? Sensors. Okay. Now tell me any one example. Smart switch. Yeah, correct. Harichandan. Wireless connection of machines. Okay. Wireless connections. Okay. Connect the things through internet. Exactly. Interact with machine. Okay. Smart connectivity. Okay. Okay. So now let me give the answer for that. Like smart home devices, wearable and health monitors. We can say like smart cities, connected cars, industrial IoT. There are much more, right? So first, what is IoT? Let me give a short answer for that. IoT stands for the Internet of Things. It refers to a network of physical objects like devices, vehicles and other items too, that embedded with sensors, software and connectivity that allow them to collect and exchange data with devices and systems over the internet. This is what IoT is called. And how it actually works. So IoT works by connecting devices to the internet or a private network, which allows them to communicate with each other, and with the cloud based applications and services that manage them. This enables the devices to share data, receive instructions and interact with their environment in real time too. So for example, let's take a smart thermostat in your home, which might be connected to the internet and able to communicate with your smartphone, like weather forecast and other sensors around your home. So the thermostat can use this data to adjust the temperature automatically, which saves energy and improving comfort too. So IoT systems typically use a combination of sensors, wireless connectivity, cloud computing and data analytics. Collect and analyze data from multiple sources. This data can be used to optimize processes, improve efficiency and create new insights and opportunities for business and individuals alike. See, many companies are using IoT in a wide range of industries. Here are few companies that I have mentioned here. First one is Amazon. So Amazon uses IoT to power its Echo and Alexa devices, which allow users to control smart home devices with voice commands. And General Electric. GE uses IoT to monitor and analyze data from industrial equipment such as jet engines and wind turbines to optimize performance and reduce maintenance cost. And you can take Tesla. Tesla uses IoT technology in its electrical vehicles for what? To collect data on performance and driving habits, which is used to improve vehicle design and software. And coming to IBM. IBM uses IoT technology to develop solutions for smart cities, like healthcare and supply chain management, among other areas. Next, a company which is owned by Google produces smart home devices such as you can tell thermostat, cameras and smoke detectors, which are all connected to the internet and can be controlled remotely. And Siemens. It uses IoT technology to monitor and control building systems such as heating, ventilation and air conditioning to improve energy efficiency and reduce cost. You have to wait till end of the class. Attendance link will be provided at the end of the class, so please wait patiently until the class is wind up. Okay. So next, this one. Studying IoT can open up a wide range of career opportunities in various industries. Here are some areas where you could potentially work after studying IoT. The first one is IoT engineer. You could work as an IoT engineer designing and developing IoT systems and devices. And coming to data scientist, with expertise in IoT and data analytics, you could work as a data scientist, analyzing data just collected from IoT devices to derive insights and drive business decisions. And coming to cyber security analyst, with knowledge of IoT security protocols like RISC, you could work as a cyber security analyst, ensuring the security of IoT networks and devices. Now coming to smart home or building specialist. With a focus on IoT for homes and buildings, you could work as a specialist designing and implementing smart home or building systems. And then coming to IoT specialist, you could work as an industrial IoT specialist, developing and implementing IoT solutions in manufacturing. like oil and gas and other industrial settings. And at last, coming to IoT product manager, with knowledge of IoT technologies and with knowledge of market trends, you could work as an IoT product manager, like overseeing the development and launch of IoT products. Now, let us dive into the topics of about IoT. First, look at our mobile phone. Our mobile phone have GPS tracking, like mobile gyroscope, adaptive brightness, which is adjusted according to the light falling on it, right? And coming to voice recognition and also face detection to identify the user. So these are all a lot of features that coming pre-built on the phone. Most of these have a common interaction between them. Like let's say one application can use all of these features, right? It can also have these features in itself being interacting with each other. Well, like let's say based on the GPS location, my brightness could be adjusted, or based on the direction, my phone is being held the brightness in itself. That can also be adjusted as well. So, but when they interact with each other, these features comes together to bring a better system. That anything they can provide individually as just what is IoT is. So now, what is IoT? So connecting everyday things embedded with electronics, software and sensors to the internet, enabling them to collect and exchange data. So, where we can connect everyday things which are embedded with, either it can be software or sensors to the internet. And this in turn enables us to connect as well as exchange data between these things. Now, when I say things, it can be anything and everything. Let's say I have an internet platform where I can connect these things. If I take an example of my house, I can connect my lock, I can connect my AC, and I can connect my light, and all this can be managed on a same platform. So, since I have a platform, I can also connect my car to this. I can keep a track of my speed limit. I can keep a track of my fuel meter. I can also keep a track of my location. So, if there is a collective platform where all these are connected, wouldn't it be great, right? Okay. So, now let's talk about the another example. See this. If I allow the room temperature to be set be at like 25 or 26 degrees Celsius when I reach back home from my office, then according to my car location, my AC would start before 10 minutes I arrive at home. This can be done through the Internet of Things. Now this is just one of the examples. Now let's say tomorrow you come back home, it would be great if I wouldn't even need a key to unlock my door. My home system should be aware that I have come home and should unlock all the doors that are needed, and now this can be done if my mobile and my home devices are connected onto the same platform, which is based on the location of my mobile. So it can identify that, it will automatically unlock the door and let me come in as well. So these are some of the real world implications of IoT. These are something that are already happening, but going forward, what we need to understand is that when I have a specific component with me which can do a lot individually, if I can collaborate this component with my system of different components and build a better system, this is what IoT is helping us to. Platform to which all these things are connected through the internet. So, internet becomes the medium through which you are connecting all these components and things to a platform. Okay, so now, why do we need IoT? Can you say any single point, why do we need IoT? You can write the answers in the chat box. Why do we need IoT? tell about the recording classes at the end of the session. So let's wait for a few minutes, okay? Attendance link will be provided at the end of the class, and those who have some problem through WhatsApp group, you can chat with admin, I think. They will solve the issues. Meena? Draw up any single point. Why do we need IoT? We can access the things from our being place, okay? To simple and ease our work, okay? To make life easier, okay? Yeah, to solve real world problems, simple process, better monitoring, yeah, good control system to automate our day things, yeah. To perform any task by using IoT, we can save time, yes, correct? Because nowadays everything is done through internet, yeah, sure. Okay, all are giving the nice examples, okay. So now let's see. To get a clear idea about why do we need IoT, first let's look at an example, okay. So let's imagine there is a patient at home. He is on constant life support where his status is being checked to a health monitoring system which is present on the cloud, okay. Let's say at a point there is a certain issue with respect to his health. And let's say there is some irregularity with his heartbeat or like blood pressure is low or so far. Now what happened? Since the system on the cloud is connected to the hospital as well, right? So this information would get passed to the hospital as well. And also the important information with respect to the current situation of the patient as well. So how this has happened? We made it aware with respect to what issue is exactly the patient facing, as well as enable them to dispatch an ambulance immediately to bring the patient back to the hospital as well. So now see this slide. Now see this. Meanwhile, what happened? Once the patient has been picked up and brought back to the hospital, there could be prescriptions. There could be like a medicine. There could be an operating theatre made ready in case of emergency situation as well, right? There would be doctors on standby who have complete history of the patient, who have complete details of the present condition of the patient as well. So, this reduces a lot of effort and time involved with respect to this. So, the same thing let's take in today's scenario. There has to be someone monitoring this patient's health, and if there is a fluctuation, they need to call the hospital. They need to call and request for the ambulance, and meanwhile, once the ambulance came, what will happen? They take the patient and back into the hospital, and again there is needed a lot of checkups. They need to be done because the doctors are not fully aware now. And also there is a lot of tests that need to be run, and this in turn leads a lot of delay as well. In certain emergency cases like this, if any system can do this, then this is exactly where our future lies in and what we have to definitely move forward to. Now see. So now, why do we need IoT? Here see, now IoT is basically expanding the interdependence of human to interact, to contribute and to collaborate to the things around us. So now what do I mean by interdependence of human? How do we depend on each other? So we all are interdependent on each other for something or like other. If we expand this interdependence to interact, to collaborate and to contribute with respect to the different things around us, then we would be building a proper Internet of Things environment. This would be much safer, this would be much like secure and time-saving environment into existence, right? So now let's move to the next slide, which is benefits of IoT. The very first one is efficient resource utilization. That you could efficiently utilize the resources that are available. If I have smart system which can interact with everything, if it has like enough computational power, if it has enough like understanding of how things work between each other, then the usage of the resources available will be more efficient as well, right? This resource could be in terms of monitoring. Like or we say it could be in terms of natural resource. It could also be an input taken up by the things as an input and so far. So this all can be more efficient if I have a platform which is smarter and interconnected as. And coming to this minimizing human effort, exactly. Apart from this, it minimizing the human effort involved, if my system is smart enough to interact with the smart enough to do things that I don't need to get involved with it, right? Then my interaction is always going to be minimum. This is the same with everyone, and that's one of the major reason why IoT has become popular today. And the concept of smart home is always growing as well in the same perspective, because if the system in itself is able to do most of my work, then I don't need to put much effort. I can relax at home without having to worry about everything. Isn't it great, right? And coming to this, it saves time. 100% sure, it saves time. If it reduces my human effort, then definitely it is going to save my time. Apart from that, its resources are utilized more efficiently. Then again it is going to have a lot more time as well. So any benefit of IoT will in turn help you to save a lot of time as well. So time is the one of the major factor that can be saved on the Internet of Things platform. Development of AI through IoT. If I have an AI platform, which is artificial intelligence platform, through which all this managed and maintained, the personalization and the human touch also comes into the picture, right? Now, today most of us has a level of interaction with an artificial intelligence or like virtual intelligence as well. This could be a personal assistant like Siri, or it could be a personal assistant application like Google Assist. So if I have a system where all these components and things are interconnected, then all the security present on each of these things is going to get multiplied, and it's going to build a much more secure system. And coming to this improved security, if I let's say apart from that level of security that we would be integrating to the platform in itself is going to be quite huge. So the overall security with respect to everything is going to increase multiple time as well. So now let's move to the second next slide of IoT. Now see, now any technology that is available today has not reached this 100% capabilities. Like it always has that gap to grow. Like so, Internet of Things is one of the major technologies in the world today that can help any other technology reach its true and complete potential as well. Now see, there are mainly three aspects to IoT as to how it works. First one is connect. So connect various things to the IoT platform. And coming to analyze, it analyzes the data collected and using it to build business intelligence. Integrate, it integrate various models to improve your user experience. So now let's see. Okay, so first let's take this connect. Here basically what you need to work on is you need to ensure that there is a connectivity between all the things around you to the IoT platform. First one is connect. So coming to analyze. Now I have my things around me. They each are going to generate some amount of data, right? So now this data need to be collected and it need to be analyzed. Build a business intelligence solution. So if I have a good insight from the data that is gathered from all of this, then definitely it can call my system as a smart system. So finally what happened? In order to improvise and improve your system, you need to integrate it with various modes of to improve the user experience as well. Let's say there is a personalization module is there, or let's say there is going to be an aspect when I can directly connect to my providers. Now this provider could be like Amazon, or it could be a Flipkart, or it could be also my retail store which is next to me. For example, I have my coffee machine that requires special beans, and these beans are not almost complete. Then what my system could do is, it go to online to Amazon and purchase these beans for me as well. So there are a lot of things I can do when I integrate this with respect to various models and improve the overall experience to a single user or a group of user on the world itself. So now let's talk about each one of them one by one. Let's start with connect. So the first stage of connect is device visualization. So what you first need to do is that you need to standardize the integration of the device to the enterprise platform, which is present on the cloud. Now it could be present on a cloud, it could be present on the server, and again all going to be connected through the internet. So what I need to do is that I need to ensure that a certain level of standard is present on the device so that it can go on and connect to my Internet of Things platform. Now see, to understand it better, there could be a standard power plug, and there could be a power plug which has an inbuilt Wi-Fi support, okay, so that it can connect to my laptop. Now to build a smart home system, I need to I need the second power point, because then only I would have to access to control it over the internet and my integrate with respect to the same. Now if I take the standard power point, then what would happen is that I need to manually switch it on and switch it off. However, in the second case, I could send a signal, and this in turn will switch it on and switch it off. So there is supposed to be a level of standardization through which I can integrate all of these devices to my platform. So this is what about device visualization. Now coming to the second one, which is high speed messaging. What I have done is that I have connected all the devices to my platform. I already connected all the things, okay. So but these devices in turn generate a lot of data, and this data is what is going to help us to understand better on how we can improve the overall system and help provide the user with better experience. So for that, we need to have high speed. This basically means that there needs to be a reliable, secure and a bidirectional communication channel. So between the devices and the platform, not the purpose of it being bidirectional, because you need to control each one of them as well. So for example, I want to switch on the AC, then the signal would be going on from the cloud platform to the device. So this is how it works on, okay. So every communication needs to be reliable, it needs to be secure, and it needs to be bidirectional as well. Third one is endpoint management. Okay, so now let's learn about this endpoint management. The third point of connect is endpoint management. I have established a way which all my devices can connect to my platform, and I also ensured that the data is going to be sent from the device to the cloud, and the cloud can send the devices as well through a secure channel. But if I don't actually identify from which device which data is coming and how this data has to be processed, then it becomes a failure of the system, right? This is where endpoint management comes into picture. Endpoint management basically helps you like in managing the device's endpoint identity, the metadata and the overall life cycle involved with respect to these things. So basically it helps you to identify from which device which data is coming. and what needs to be done with this data as well. So before that, I am telling you guys, the master class is free. This is a free master class. If you want to switch this master class into internship, in the sense, you have to pay for that. Let me briefly explain about the internship at the end of this session. So please wait until then. I will explain clearly about the internship at the end of the session. So the master class is free. If you want to convert this master class into your internship, in the sense, you have to pay money for that. I will explain it about later, okay? So now let's get back to the topic, which is, now let's jump into analyze. So the first thing that you need to do for analysis, stream processing. What is stream processing? So if the data coming from the device is not on a real-time basis, there is no use. So if I tell my system to switch on the AC at my home, and by the time I reach that, if the AC is not even turned on, then it's a failure on my system. So real-time analysis of the incoming and outgoing data and must be done. And with respect to different aggregations like filtering, correlations and processing and so forth. So coming to the next topic, which is data enrichment. So this is a raw data that is being streamed from all the things. You need to identify which is contextually important information which is going to be taken forward. So once I have the irrelevant information, then I can even generate composite streams of information which can be taken ahead of future analysis and understandings as well. This is what your data enrichment process does. So guys, please wait until the end of the class. I will clearly explain about the internship and the master class, everything and all. I am telling you that the master class is free. If you want this IoT master class certificate, you have to pay a certain amount for that certificate. Master class is free, but you have to pay amount for certificate. And then if you want to convert this master class into your internship, in the sense, you have to pay separately for that. So I will tell all the details about the end of the class. So please wait until then. No, certificate is not free of cost. You have to pay like 100 or something. So the next one is event store. So now in the event store, what will happen is basically any information that you want can be queried and visualized from the vast amount of data which is present on my cloud platform. Now this in turn can also help me to get better insights and analysis. If I have all the enriched data present on my cloud platform, I have a tool which help me to identify what is needed. It help me to analyze the data and help me to visualize it. Identify it and it becomes more useful as well. When I have data coming from different things as it, like this in turn can also lead to being a collection of big data. Of data, it's going to be a terabytes of data. Let's say, because the data generated from the things around us is that vast, and if you're doing it over a period of time, then definitely it's going to grow into a big data domain as well, right? So now the third one, which is integrate. So the first one in integrate is enterprise connectivity. So let's say I have a requirement from my retailer or even an enterprise organization, just present anything, okay? It could be Amazon, it could be Flipkart or anything such as. Any enterprise organization which provides me a service, if I can connect to them through this platform, then definitely my overall process are also easier as well. Let's say this is a service provider, okay? Let's say there is some issue with respect to my electricity. Then it can contact to the corresponding service provider. I can send them a detail and correspondingly they will be dispatched. This would reduce my effort of having to check the problem, like I have to call someone, wait for them to come back, and all that gets reduced to minimum required effort as well, right? So now, how does this happen? So for that we have another thing which is called REST API. So once I integrated my REST API with respect to the cloud application and IoT, then communication between the enterprise, like communication between the platform and like communication between the things around us can be made more efficient and can be easier as well. And coming to the next one, which is command and control. Okay, so if I don't have command and control on my platform, then it's awful noise, right? Like I build a very great environment, something that is quite extraordinary, but if you cannot command it, if I cannot control it as per my requirement, then the system itself is not useful. If I cannot tell my door in a smart home lock to unlock when I want it, then it becomes a failure on my part. If I cannot control my AC on my smart home, again it's a failure. So, always the major aspect when you integrate with respect to these things, the major thing is that you need to ensure there is a huge control on system and you are able to command it as per your requirement. So, now through like voice based recognition or also it could be a message. So that you can send through your mobile application and so forth as well. Okay. So now IoT architecture. So coming to an architecture, we can break it down to a simple 3-level architecture. Like where we have perception layer. First let's talk about the perception layer. Sensors sense and gather information about the environment. So when it gather information from the environment around it, once it done, I am going to pass this information to the network layer. So network layer is responsible for connecting smart things, network devices and servers, and also used for transmitting and processing sensor data. So the network layer in itself take up the responsibility of transferring this data from the sensor to next layer, which is what? Application layer. So this is responsible for delivering application specific service to the user and defines application IoT can be deployed, which means here the main objective of the responsibility is the application in itself. It delivers the information to the end user or the end platform. So this architecture can also be expanded to a 5-level architecture. Here we just see 3-level, right? It also be expanded to a 5-layer architecture. It's quite similar here. Let's see that also. So now see this. It's the difference mostly come around the things with respect to processing layer and like transport layer, business layer. So where we had 3 layers doing the earlier task, we have just broken this down so that we have an easier operation or a smoother system. Okay. So now coming to the perception layer, it remains the same. It gathers information from the sensor. This is what perception layer do. And coming to transport layer, the transport layer actually transports the data between sensors to the processing center. It could be through a wireless system, it could be through Bluetooth, it could be through RFID, 3G or any medium that I choose to. And coming to processing layer, so once the information is transmitted, then the processing layer comes into picture, which actually stores the relevant information, analyze it and again process it as per the user requirement. So now again this could employ various databases like cloud computing servers as well, big data processing modules. For what? To store this information as well as process it for that matter. Once this is done, I have the information to the application layer. So, which is actually responsible for delivering superior services to the end user for that matter. So, and now top all of this stands your business layer. Now, any devices for that matter, when it's working on a large scale environment, a business layer is used here. So now let's say I'm working in an organization where we're using multiple pumps for different features in different locations for that matter. A business layer here actually monitors the complete functioning of these parts. You can also have these in various cars as well. So what I would note here is if a car is going to break down, then I also get the awareness with respect to that individual car. And it also helps me enable or help me reach out like to the closest customer care center, so that I can assist the user, right? So this is all about the 5-layer architecture. So now let's move to the next topic, which is applications of IoT. This is the last topic. Applications of IoT. So like what are the applications? We can say so many. Here I just put some of this, like everyday life, healthcare, smart cities, agriculture, industrial automation, and disaster management. So first let's get started with IoT in everyday life. So let me give you an example of how IoT can service in our daily life. So consider a home appliances such as AC. Currently what you do is that you go home and turn on your AC and wait for it to reach a certain temperature that you like, about like 25 degrees Celsius. Does anyone see a problem here? No. So this is a perfectly a functioning setting, but what if it could be better? What if when your car is 5 minutes away, your AC received a message? What if it was connected to a cloud which had like a dashboard and containing all the relevant information, like the location of your car, the outside temperature, and temperature at which you would like to your room? Your AC could turn on before you arrived and create an ambience that you like. This is all because of IoT. So attendance link are provided, but please wait. I will explain about the internship and everything and all in the end of this session. So please wait until then. And coming to the healthcare, let's take an example. Let's take working of a smart care devices. A care device has certain parameters that are considered safe. So once one of them is breached, the sensor immediately releases the message using a secured gateway to the cloud. Now it is vital for this gateway to be secure as it holds all your value and medical record. So then the cloud then passes a remote signal to a smart device. Then this is monitored by either or caretaker at home. The beauty of remote patient monitoring is that the patient can now replace a long way to doctor's office with a quick check-in, data share, and instructions on how to proceed. So IoT bridges the gap between reading devices and delivering healthcare just by creating systems rather than just equipment. And coming to IoT in smart cities. So problems faced by cities such as waste control management, traffic management, water resource management, housing issues, and pollution impact in different cities with different intensities, right? One such popular consistent among most urban cities is traffic. Oh my god, traffic, right? So image and intelligent device like a camera that monitor a road, traffic jam, accident, etc., and communicate that statics through a gateway. Now this gateway also receives data from other various cameras around the cities. Then what happened? In itself, it could form a city-wide traffic system. So where can we use it? So now let's say municipal corporation has decided to repair a road which connects the highway for more than one city. So now this could cause a massive congestion. So a smart camera could send this insight to the citywide traffic system. Now considering this is a smart traffic system, It quickly learns and predicts patterns and traffics. It will analyze the situation and predicts its impact and releases this information to other cities that connect to the highway through their own monitoring system, you can say. So now the traffic management system then can derive routes for cars around these projects. So live instruction could be sent to drivers via radio channel or by their respective smart devices what they are using. And coming to IoT in agriculture. So manual handling often results what? Loss of energies like labor cost and other inaccuracies which make all it process less effective, right? So IoT here provides a number of solutions like precision farming, smart irrigation and smart greenhouse. There's a sensor detecting various parameters at each level of soil. We have moisture content, temperature and weather conditions. So one can tell the correct depth of the plant, that crops are the right time to water them. So coming to the smart greenhouse, first what is greenhouse? So greenhouse is the farming technique where you can increase yield by controlling natural parameters. So if we use embedded devices in this greenhouse, we could not only just monitor but we could practically control the climate inside the greenhouse. Is that the sensor sends the various parameters and area issues inside the greenhouse. Then they relay the information via the connection gateway to the cloud, which sends the remote commands through the same gateway back to the sensors. So once these signals are acknowledged, they have passed on to the switch gears, which then activate the lightning like pumping and turbines inside the greenhouse. So which then create an artificial sunlight and sometimes artificial precipitations inside the greenhouse and what more. So from the connection gateway, there is a monitor through which 24/7 real-time monitoring has come into effect. So you could use any smart device to remote the condition inside the greenhouse. So with elimination of irregularities and human error, this creates a much more efficient system. And coming to industrial automation. There are still few problems that need to be addressed in this sector. The IoT improves the line of command immensely. So it's optimizing packaging and make quality test, and you don't need to worry about the training cost of too much staffs or a lot of staffs going on a holiday because these factories pretty much run on their own. And also you can monitor the supply chain in the real time while keeping an eye on your inventory. So with IoT applications, one could even re-engine your products and their packaging to deliver better performance in both cost and customer experience. And at last, coming to this disaster management, the IoT cannot stop disasters from happening, but it sure can help in preparedness during one. Due to high population density, like poor evacuation infrastructure and exposure to severe weather conditions. So, developing countries are more exposed to the risk of natural disaster and often have limited means to sustain the effects. So, as a consequence, according to the study, more than 95% of all deaths caused by disaster occur in developing countries. So, IoT can compensate for this, like by prediction, like by preparedness, response and recovery to rescue an emerging and developing countries from their vulnerable position. So let me give an example for forest fire where IoT could be used as a solution. So sensors are installed near the parameters of the forest. They contribute to the data feeds about temperature and carbon emissions to the control room, which is common to the entire town. This is done via a secured gateway. So they anticipate problems and put defenses in place to mitigate the impact. So namely the police, the nearby hospitals, and most importantly, so if such an emergency occurs in your urban areas, peoples and communities are alerted via social media or conventional media channels and SMS. So this is all about applications of IoT. So now let me explain about this thing. So, do you want to become a certified IoT engineer? So this is the right time to switch your masterclass into internship. So now let's see what are the benefits of this internship. You can ask me like what we get through this internship. You will get the 30 days of live sessions. Get access of 90 days of access to records. Source code IoT projects, and you can also get the downloadable presentations. And you will get your mentor. For every week they will conduct a mastermind session. There is a mentor is available. You can clear all your doubts and you can question all your doubts to that mentor. They will provide you the correct answer and they will guide you. And coming to this one, you will get the internship confirmation letter first. After registration, you will first getting your internship confirmation letter, and at last, after finishing the entire 30 days master class, they will provide you the internship certificate. Again, I am telling you, only the master class is free. For the certificate, you have to pay money, and for internship, actually we are charging 1500. But now you can get at a discounted amount just only for 799. So use this registration link to get this discount amount. This is only for 799 and this is the right time to switch your masterclass into internship. You will get all the benefits which I have mentioned previously. So use this chance to get an internship. So these are the ads-on project you will get in this internship, which are smart street light using LDR and IR sensor, monitoring soil moisturization using ASK sensor, gas leakage detection using Arduino IoT cloud, and IoT based heartbeat monitoring system, and BME280 sensor readings to the real-time database, well based remote serial monitor, and sending emails using SMTP, and at last telegram request ESP8266 sensor reading. So you will get all the source code, everything and all in this internship. Yeah. So this is all about the today's session. Again, I am telling you this master class is free, but you want a certificate, you have to pay money for that, and for internship you have to pay 799. So use that registration link. Those who want to do internship, you can go for that link and register for the internship, and you have to pay 799 and you will get all the things which I have mentioned earlier. So use this chance and get your internship. So this is all about today's session. Let's catch up at the next class with next topic. Thank you all. Have a very nice day.